G'day guys, welcome back to another week of building the Santisima Trinidad. I believe the majority of this week will be building up the officers' quarters on the stern of the ship, and then adding the LEDs back there. I think there's another 4 to be added. We also have 2 of these Part 71s that just go on this part back here that is fit into the front slot there on each of the frames. So I'll just grab some glue and get the camera set up and we'll start doing that. Okay, next up we have this part that goes on the stern, has the line across which shows which way it's positioned. The other side doesn't have it. Just goes to the rear of the ship, and then we get the LEDs which will be coming through these holes just here on each side. Just feed it through from the back. Try and get it down into that slot there. I'll just get a couple of drops of glue to hold it. I probably really need a heat glue. So this super glue didn't hold, so I've used a little bit of E6000, which takes longer to dry, which is why I've clamped it there. And then I've also got some E6000 on this side. So just get that through. Naturally they never want to go. Once it's there, I'll just clamp it like the other side just to hold it in place. Once that fully dries, we'll add it to the ship. Okay, we've just got to put this part F17 onto the back of the ship. As I said before, that line points to the stern of the ship. So we've just got to put it onto these notches just here. It's a reasonably tight fit. Not sure why, but it should go on. There we go. I'll just leave that to dry, and then we'll be back. Okay, next up we have this part 73 and two part 74s. They're just going to go into this couple of slots just here. So, and as you can see here, that curve goes to the inside of the ship. So I've got a bit of glue on this one. Just tidy it up a little bit. Okay, I'm just going to have to let this dry for a little while, because there's another piece that is going to sit on top of that. So we'll be right back. Okay, I actually noticed I put this piece on upside down initially. This is actually the correct way that it goes onto the ship. I didn't notice till the next day, so I had to very carefully break the glue away so we could put it up the right way. So now that I've pointed that out, we can continue with the build of the ship. Okay, next up we have two part 74s. They're just going to slip onto those pieces that we put there a minute ago. Just to make sure the curve is to the inside, and then afterwards we're going to sand this off at a bit of a angle. So because I can't clamp this, I'm just going to use CA glue. And then just push down on it a little bit, because it does have a bit of a curve like the rest of the pieces we've been putting on the stern. Okay, I'll just give that a few minutes to dry properly, and when we come back we'll sand those edges. Okay, so now we just have to sand those edges. As you can see, I've already done this side. It just follows that a slight angle on that there, and as you can see, this side, the top part actually sticks straight up. We've just got to get it to follow that line that we've created with that part. Okay, so that's sanded on both sides. So we're just following that line, as I said, on both sides there. And now that that's done, we should be able to add that to the ship. Okay, we have these 3 tabs along the back here. It's difficult to see, but they go into these small tabs you can just see just under here, the 3 of them. There's a curve, so you've got to try and get that middle one in first, and then it should sit up hard against that piece above it. Okay, that's glued in place. I just need to find something to wedge under it, just to hold it up hard against that piece above it. Okay, I've just wedged a clamp in underneath just to hold it up enough to sit up flush against that piece above it. So while that's holding it, we can keep moving on with the build. We've got part 75 here, which just slips into these two little slots like that. The sloped edge goes to the outside, and then there's another piece that sits on top of that with part 76, which just sits over that tab and then sits on the piece that's sitting directly behind it. So it's just nice and flush against that back edge, and it just touches against that piece in front of it there. So I'll just let this dry and we'll start building the next level up. Okay, next up we have this part 77. And we have two of these parts called 77 LED, and as the name suggests, that's where another pair of LEDs are going to be fitted. So I've got this one glued up already. They just slide into that slot. And then I'll just get some glue and we'll do the other one. Tidy it up a little bit. Make sure they're reasonably straight. It's not critical, but get as close as we can. Now I'll just let that dry, and when it is, we'll fit that to the back of the ship as well. Okay, this I've already put the LEDs into position. Now the three notches at the front here that I've already glued, just go into those three slots there. Let's tidy that up a bit. I'm actually going to put the next part on while this is still wet, just because we're going to need to wriggle it around a little bit. So I'll just grab that part and then we'll continue. Okay, now we have part 78, which is just going to slide into this slot. I'm just using CA glue this time just because it needs to stand up straight away, and I can't really clamp it because this part's underneath it now. So make sure they're straight. And then we have part 79, which is just going to sit on top.
Just make sure it's nice and level. Okay, so we have part 80, which you can see has these 4 tabs, and they go into those slots directly below that last piece we put in. It's got a bit of a curve to it, so we just got to wriggle it in, and then those tabs that are on the back of that upper piece go into the slots that we've got on this piece. Again, just got to wriggle it around a little bit because it does have that slight bend. And again, I've just used CA glue because of that bend. It just makes it easier to hold it, and it'll stay in place. Looks like we're actually going to have proper balconies on this officers' quarters, because we've got the 2 doors there, so hopefully they open up onto a balcony. So that looks like it should be just about there, and I'll grab the next piece to be added. Okay, next up we've got part 81. These 4 notches just go into the little slots on the back here. Whoops. Again, it has that slight curve, so you just got to wriggle it around to get it in there. Just make sure it's straight. So I'll just let that dry, and then we'll return. Okay, the time has come to tidy up all these wires that we've got coming out from the LEDs at the stern there. We have 2 sets of red and black wires that go to the battery box. One set we are going to hook into all the wiring for the LEDs, and then the other set, or other pair, we just leave aside for the moment, because they will be later going up to the lanterns on the back of the ship. So I'll just get that all done, and by then it should be time to come back and just about wrap the video up. Those have all been soldered, and I've shrink wrapped the end of the wires, pushed them below the deck. We still have the 2 that I said earlier about. That will then go to the lanterns, and I think there may even be a couple of lanterns up the masts. So I'll just reset this camera, get the lights turned off, and we'll give them a test. I've got it as dark as I can get it in here, so I'll just turn this on, and there we go, have the lights all working. We've got 2 on the top deck, 2 in the middle, and then 2 on that lower deck. As I said, later on we'll have I think it's 3 lanterns on the back, and then 2 up the mast, but that's a fair way off yet. Next week we're going to be painting inside all the frames black, and then start planking the ship. Planking is actually my favourite part of a build, so I've been looking forward to that. So thanks for watching, and I hope you join me next week. Cheers.